After years of ruling Israel, King Saul found himself in a dire situation. The Philistines had gathered their armies to attack, and Saul was terrified. He had once relied on the prophet Samuel for guidance, but Samuel had died. Worse still, God had stopped speaking to Saul because of his disobedience and pride. Saul had even expelled all the mediums and spiritists from the land, as consulting them was forbidden by God. But in his desperation, Saul decided to seek answers through forbidden means. Saul disguised himself and went to the town of Endor under the cover of night. There he sought out a woman known as the Witch of Endor, who was rumored to have the ability to communicate with the dead. Saul begged her, "Please consult a spirit for me and bring up for me the one I name." The woman was hesitant. She knew the king had outlawed such practices and feared a trap. But Saul swore an oath by the Lord, promising her no harm. Reluctantly, she agreed and asked, "Whom shall I bring up for you?" Saul replied, "Bring up Samuel." To the woman's shock, when she performed her ritual, the spirit of Samuel actually appeared. She cried out in fear, realizing that her visitor was none other than King Saul himself. Saul reassured her and asked, "What do you see?" The woman described an old man wrapped in a robe, and Saul knew it was Samuel. He bowed face down in reverence. Samuel's spirit, however, was not pleased. He asked Saul, "Why have you disturbed me by bringing me up?" Saul explained his desperation. "I am in great distress. The Philistines are fighting against me, and God has turned away from me. He no longer answers me either by prophets or by dreams. So I have called on you to tell me what to do." Samuel's response was grim. "Why do you ask me, since the Lord has departed from you and become your enemy? The Lord has done what he predicted through me. He has torn the kingdom out of your hands and given it to David, because you did not obey the Lord. Tomorrow you and your sons will be with me. The Lord will also deliver the army of Israel into the hands of the Philistines." Saul was utterly devastated. He fell to the ground, weak with fear and hunger, for he had eaten nothing all day. The woman, seeing his distress, urged him to eat. She prepared a meal for him, and Saul and his men ate before leaving that night. The next day the prophecy came true. Saul and his sons died in battle, and the kingdom was handed over to David.